everyone, welcome back. So friends, welcome to 2022. Woo! I'm glad to see that you made it here with me, and I'm here today to share how do you figure out where do you want to travel to in 2022? This is a question that I always get asked while I travel. People say, how did you figure out, this particular destination? What made you want to go there? So there are a few things that I consider as kind of my top priorities when I'm traveling so that I know when I'm mapping out where I want to go, these are some of the destinations that I'll end up for the year. Last year, in the middle of the pandemic, I traveled to 5 different countries. So I want to share some of my tribal knowledge so that you guys are able to travel with me. You guys are able to do your thing. I want to see us all travel this year. So get out your notebooks, get out your iPads, get out your phones, whatever you use to write notes down. I want you to start taking notes. So first thing, number 1, I got my notes here just in case because I don't want to forget anything. So the first tip that I wanted to share with you guys is creating your 2022 visions. What is a vision? You can create a vision in the form of a vision board. You can write it down on a Jamboard, on Google Documents. You can write it down in an old-fashioned journal. You can also write it down on your phone. But what I want you to write down is very important. So write down this. I want you to write down your bucket list. Create a bucket list of things that you want in places you want to go. So there are things that you'll want to do that maybe you can't do in your city. So that'll, you want to write down where you have to go to actually do this particular activity. For example, if you want to eat in the sky, we know that those things are offered in New York City, Dubai, and Las Vegas. So maybe pick out of the 3 which place you want to eat in the sky. So let's say you want to eat in the sky in Las Vegas. Boom, there's your number 1 bucket list. Then you'll trigger it down based off of the places that you want to go. Also, when I think of this, I personally think about places I've always wanted to travel, even as a child. Funny names or places you've heard about, and you want to find out, is it true? For example, I always heard when you travel to Africa, you're like, what will you see? It's the motherland, is it what we see on TV, Discovery Channel? I went there and I was able to see it for myself. So think about those places that you always wanted to see and you dreamed of or you heard about in school and write them down. Add it to your bucket list. So that's number 1. Create a bucket list, stick to it, define the bucket list, making sure the bucket list is actually sized down to make sense to an exact place. Pinpoint the destination. That's number 1. Number 2 on our list, iconic moments. So I personally want to be a part of the world's most iconic moments. So you may think, what's an iconic moment? So an iconic moment is maybe something that happens that's an extraordinary event that we've all heard of. So that could be the Macy's Day Parade. That can be the Carnival in Rio de Janeiro. For me, last year, I wanted to go to Carnival Rio de Janeiro, but I wasn't able to make it there. But I did make it to Rio de Janeiro, but unfortunately the pandemic shut us down, so I was not able to go to Carnival. So I still want you to think like that by placing your bucket list, the most iconic moments that you want to be a part of. So for me, one of them was the Las Vegas fight. I was able to see last year the trilogy of Wilder versus Fury. It was amazing. And I'll be able to share some of those fun stories in another video. But this video, I just want you to understand what's an iconic moment. What's an iconic moment that can go in your destination bucket list that you want to be a part of for 2022? So for me, I love this year. I love being a part of those iconic moments, and I'll start to think of what are some of those moments that I can be a part of. So for me, I always wanted to go to the Polo Classic, the Kentucky Derby. So those are going to be some things that I'll put on my list, and I'll put them on my list as a goal to obtain throughout the year and see if it's obtainable by doing my research, looking it up on Google, making sure that it's happening, when it's happening, and putting it on your calendar so that you can actually make it there. Planning is the key to success. Make sure you plan. Preparation is going to create great execution for your travel destinations in 2022. The last thing on our list, guys, is creating travel flights. So there are destinations that are part of those iconic moments, that's a part of your bucket list. And there's also going to be popular travel destinations based off of price points. So I love a good deal, guys. What you'll learn through these videos is me finding a good deal is like an adrenaline rush. Can't even say it. But it's basically like I love to find a good deal. I love to find out like, what's a city that's kind of trending, so to speak, and how do you do that? So you can go to multiple different flight websites, and you can actually put alerts for when there's deals in your area, your city. And when you get those notifications, you can see if it's something that you are able to plan out. A lot of times these things will be 6 months in advance, so you are able to put it on your calendar. Like yesterday, I just got one for Peru. Peru is currently on sale for $260 round trip. So definitely that's something I will then take a moment and do some research on Peru, see about how safe it is, look up the COVID procedures, and look up things to do that may be iconic, or maybe there are some things that are very tourist attractions that are very popular. I also like popular tourist attractions, and that's something that you can engage with on your bucket list as well too. So putting all these things together are different ways that I come up personally with my list of destinations for 2022. I then start my research, which I'll share with you in the next video, on what that looks like. How do we figure out, are these really the destinations that we want to go to? Is it safe? Are COVID procedures in place? All sorts of things. So we will talk about them more in videos to come. But right now, I just wanted you guys to start thinking about it while you're creating those vision boards and you're creating your 2022 to-do list. I want to just make sure that you include your travel bucket list and your travel list for 2022. Let's start off the year on a good foot. I'm going to end the video with that. I thank you guys so much. If you like this video and you want to see more content like this, please make sure you subscribe. Have a great day.